The city of Tshwane has arrested 4 municipal officials and 4 Chinese nationals after uncovering an alleged prostitution ring operating in the Pretoria CBD. In a late-night raid on Tuesday, officials also detained 30 additional individuals believed to be linked to the operation. Mayor Dr. Nasiphi Moyo says the arrests reveal deep-rooted criminal collusion within parts of the municipal employees. She warns that some staff members have been accepting 5,000 rand bribes to enable illegal activities, including illegally reconnecting electricity. Moyo says the city is intensifying efforts to regain control of the CBD and to restore public trust. For more on this, we are joined by the Tshwane MMC for Community Safety, Hannes Coetzee. Hannes, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Please talk us through this operation that had uncovered the prostitution ring that had implicated some members who are officials within the city of Tshwane. To what extent were they involved? What were their transgressions and involvement in this prostitution ring?
Thank you. Good afternoon even to your viewers. What we normally do is we call it IBEC. It's Interdepartmental Bylaw Enforcement Committee, which we've established working from the City Manager's office. Now, that is in collaboration with all the different stakeholders, where they used to work in silos. Now we're working as a full team, where we signed the MOU with SAPS as well as provincial and national. When we go out on these operations, we're looking for specifically the bylaw enforcement. If there's any officials that is involved, there's internal processes that we follow. We're actually standing for zero tolerance when it comes to corruption. So those people must follow the internal processes. But what we have done with the 4 Chinese people that was arrested, they were arrested. And what concerns me of our legal system is that the next day they were released already. But what we found inside of the shops is actually shocking, where they're actually using now what we call in those ways that they're actually using the youth, the young people that is really desperate for work. They're using them and they become the pimps. So what they do is they actually use them for sex trade, and then they have to pay these Chinese people. When I looked at the documentation, what is shocking is the liquor license, for instance, was already issued in 2014, but then the first ID document that they've received was in 2015, but it says that the person is not a South African citizen. The second ID that we looked at was only issued in 2023. But I think the most shocking is that when you look at the passport says that he's here as an engineer to work for a specific company. But when we went into the place in the CBD in Blood Street, we found that these people are actually, selling alcohol. I think they've got more beer storage capacity than what the SA Breweries has got. So if you look, the trap doors that they put on the internal side where you can't actually find it, we found those internal doors. We found about 15 people running to the roof. The one lady wanted to jump off, but they were all arrested. So they're hiding away. I think it's a bit shocking if you look at the real picture. From outside, it looks like just a normal shop. But the moment that you go inside, you find all these trap doors. When you go through the trap door, you actually found up to 100 rooms that they're using and selling, where these people are actually used for prostitution. And then they have to pay these Chinese people for using of the rooms. So it's not a healthy situation, but we will make sure that there's zero tolerance for corruption within the city. We will go and investigate further, but internal processes, like I said, is also followed so that those people can be then bring to book.
Yeah. Talk to us about how the 4 city officials are implicated in this.
I haven't got the full information on that because that has been worked through, the city manager's office. So the internal processes due to the city manager and the legal department, they will deal with that. But what we found on some of these operations when we go out is people actually start mentioning certain people's names. And then you have to do an internal investigation because I believe in the city of Tshwane, what we do is we don't just go on hearsay. We have to investigate to get the facts because the law is clear. It specifies that a person is not guilty until found guilty in a court of law. So therefore, we have to do internal investigations to then come to the correctness of what was the allegation. But then processes will be followed. and those people will either be suspended or fired, depending on the seriousness of the case.
Yeah. How widespread is collusion amongst employees and officials in the city?
Sorry, I couldn't hear that. The line was off.
Yeah. How widespread is collusion amongst city employees and officials?
I believe that not all of them. We've got very good people working within the city in all departments, but you get individuals that, I think in every department you will get the one or two that is colluding with other people outside because the people are desperate. But we cannot allow that. We need to bring back law and order. And this is the reason why we've actually started with this IBEC, where we have all the different stakeholder departments then working under the supervision of TMPD as well as the South African Police Service. We have proper systems that we put in place, proper planning. So there is in every operation that we do, we look at certain signals that you can pick up from the community. If there's a specific name, we will follow up on the name. But collusion internal is a thing that we have to clear out. We cannot continue with that. And we've started another security cluster where we can actually do vetting and screening and doing proper investigations on those people if they not stick to the law.
Yeah. Importantly, Hannes, the Integrated Bylaw Enforcement Committee, how do they operate? Do they operate on a tip-off? In this instance in particular, was there a tip-off or was it a randomized raid?
What we have found since we took over on the 14th of October 2024, we've brought this integration system where basically your fire department, your health department, your TMPD, your SAPS, your Home Affairs, SARS, everybody goes together. It's a planned operation. We have intelligence people that go out and do pre-inspections to then get information. But what we've also done with the inner city rejuvenation system, we found that many of the buildings has actually been hijacked. So we started a committee as well to investigate all the empty buildings. We find out which one is private, which one is belonging to the city, and we have to clear out our cities. So we're looking at all 7 regions in the city of Tshwane, so that we do have intelligence people that go out, get internal information, but we planned operations right through all 7 of the regions of the city of Tshwane. Every week is in a different place, but this was just one that we went to. We done a follow-up. There will be other follow-ups as well, but this is not the only one. I think there's much more, because the moment you walk in the street, it looks like just a shop. But the moment that you go inside of the shop and you start seeing all these trap doors and the escape routes and the camera systems that they're using, where they are interlinked and they're warning each other, you'll see the doors are closing down. So this is an intelligence operation where we have to get information, but some of them we just do randomly because of, if you remember a while ago, the president has called off, where those people were dying with the spaza shops. So we're doing an operation where you look at your compliance certificates, you look at your health certificate, you look at your fire, all those compliance certificates. And we're trying to assist as well. It's not just a case of closing down, but we also encourage our local people to have a look at what the processes is. How do you apply to get your business licenses in place? So we go to all 7 regions. We even go to Spar, Pick n Pay, all those big shops as well. We look at companies. So it's not just a one-off thing where we target a specific place.
Yeah. Have you noticed a compliance behavioral change in the city, especially around the bylaws since this integrated committee has been put together?
Actually, in 1 year, you won't believe what I'm saying to you now. We have 2 independent companies that actually declared the city of Tshwane the safest metro in the country. This has really been working very well. We've got we call it the IGR, Intergovernmental Relations meeting, every Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock, where all the different stakeholders, that is now SAPS, Home Affairs, different departments, we meet together, we share information. We started in the whole of Gauteng province. We've already visited Ekurhuleni, Umfuleni, Soweto. We've gone to Soshanguve. And if you look at the arrests that we make, we find even people with serious crime cases like, unlicensed firearms, housebreaking, people that they've been looking for a long time. We're looking at illegal foreigners. We're looking at many different things, even information that the community has given us, because we even go to different communities. We invite the communities. We're having imbizos to try and find out what is the challenges that we have. We found illegal connections on the water as well as electricity. Yeah. So this inner city rejuvenation is working very well, and they want to now take it into all 9 provinces in the country.
Yeah, Hannes, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. That's Hannes Coetzee, the MMC for Community Safety in the city of Tshwane.